G2 versus ENCE, the matchup everybody was hoping to see, and well, it's reached its conclusion. We're on map number 3, it's Train. And this one is definitely going to be a close affair, I feel. Coming into this, I'm expecting a slow style of play, I'm expecting a long game, but ENCE starting on that CT side, as discussed on the desk. They have certainly got a formidable CT side. Again, the problems come over on that T side. We'll see if G2 can post enough on their T side. They're going to be starting here with a smoke and double flash on Nexa. And the rest with Kevlar, Bar, Amanek, who actually goes for a smoke double flash as well, Mitch.
This map's going to present a unique challenge for G2. Starting out on the terrorist side, it's not ideal because Kenny had a really poor performance when it came to the previous. So we're hoping that now on Train, he's going to be really pivotal to this matchup. We want to see them with a strong start. And immediately in towards Ivy, Jack picks up one.
Yeah, Jack's with the open headshot, but they're just running right past Sunny. He will pick up one, X7 finding another. And well, this is perfect for ENCE. Hunter and Nexa left in a 1v4. Now it's only Nexa. He will stand at the bottom of the Train. Up on top is Sunny, and well, Nexa gives away his position, not landing too many accurate shots, and Sunny will take his head off. ENCE with the pistol pickup on the CT side, a chance to get off to a good start here on Train.
Now, I'd be very surprised if G2 decide to force into this one. On the terrorist side of Train, I like to see teams just take it slow and go in for that third round bye. But ENCE getting a little bit of confidence off the bat. This is what we like to see now. They need to focus on just securing their economy a little bit further. With G2 coming into this on Glocks, you've got two SMGs in the hands of the CTs that can really manage to farm up a little bit of money. It's Aerial and X7 with those as G2. Not even going towards the B-bomb site with these Glocks. It looks like instead they're going to be faking out a little bit of presence with Hunter and then trying to blitz out of A with that flash.
Well, Amanek run over the top off. Sunny with a triple kill, holding on to the Glocks. Making it look very, very simple as he wants to go for more. And well, that's exactly what he's got. 4 more kills added to his tally. Hunter alone with a Glock up in the toilets. He will start to, up in the showers, should I say. If you go over there and you've used that as a toilet, Mitch, I think that's more of your kind of style.
All right, then.
Well, Hunter drops Amanek. Actually, Aerial, sorry, take it away. They kill 2-0, and ENCE will find their second on the board. Over on G2, well, we're finally getting a buy-in. The AKs are finally being purchased up, but there is no AWP available. So it will just be the AK strat. And well, something a lot of teams can actually be really effective with on the T side of Train, something that is very effective, is the fact that you can go out towards T-con very quickly and cause the CT defense to sort of muddle up a little bit. So I'm looking forward to seeing whether or not G2 go for a faster approach or just going to a standard default. Well, it seems like they're going in straight towards the A-bomb site. Fast play straight out through T-con.
Hunter's already closing down all the way past Olaf. He's at the bottom of the green Train now with the AK-47 in hand and just going to hide. Hopefully they'll be able to use his position a little bit later on. They are spamming through the smokes, so aware that he could be around. I don't think they expect him to be quite this close.
Well, Hunter swings left. Sunny is able to pick it up. Good kill being collected. Now we're into a man advantage over on that CT side. And Nexa makes his way through the lower ramparts and will start to clear through. Sergey up on top, just chilling into the left side of the oil train and finds Amanek trying to run towards him. Near available. Sergey only with the one so far. That's enough to keep ENCE ahead in terms of player count overall. Kenny S in behind the grey train to see what he can spot, but the smoke is still up and ENCE need to start moving forward. Only the one kid available on X7 and Sergey. 2 kids in fact, and well, Nexa will eventually fall. Sergey picks up 1. Sunny able to step in, and it's only Jack's left. 19 HP and X7 cleans it up. 3-0 here for ENCE, and that's not exactly the round G2 we're hoping for.
No, not at all. I mean, sending Hunter out, he gets into a very good position early on, but swings out to try and find the kill. The logic there, obviously, trying to drag over as many ENCE players as he can. Doesn't find a frag forward, unfortunately, but ENCE do rotate to the A-bomb site, leaving B open. They get down, they're getting the bomb in, but not able to close out the round. And for ENCE, it really couldn't have went much better. Now having a solid position to play from, money really racking up on that CT side. G2 are in a unique spot. They've got themselves a couple of pistols and a MAC-10 to play with, and as they come out towards the beginning of the round, it's going to be, again, a very fast play out of A as Amanek makes it into the position we previously saw Hunter in.
Definitely an awkward position to be in, but Amanek will eventually move out of it and push forward and try and rattle off kills with a MAC-10. He will find 1 on towards Sunny, but X7 stepping in for a trade. Now G2 sit back outside of the smoke. X7 starts to rattle as many shots as he possibly can in towards them. But G2 start to pull players away. relocating, trying to find an avenue of approach with these pistols so they can find success.
Slowly negotiating their way towards the B bomb site. ENCE have players up close. In Pop Dog, Aerial would hear steps if any of them made noise, but they know not to. And they can drop down and try to force a fight there. And they could have some success, but they would be up against an SMG. Instead, they're opting to move towards the B bomb site itself. With Sergey in position right down the back of Oil Train. He might not be able to pick them off. This could at least be a bomb plant for G2.
Sergey heading his way over towards the Great Train. 30 seconds left for G2 to make a play. Hunter has been dropped to 2 HP. Follow-up Molotov coming in. That's going to keep him far away from the action. Well, that's exactly where Sergey wants to be. Involved in the action. Headshot picked up. Moving forward, trying to deny the bomb plant, along with picking up other players. And Sergey, what a play. 4-0. And ENCE, they will go into the lead, continuing to grind up this lead as well. This has just been so solid from the Finns at the beginning of the CT side. And it comes back to that point, the fact that they are so formidable on the CT side. G2 have really got to show us something here.
We can't look at G2 on this map the same way as we did on the first two and say, well, you know what, they got off to a slow start, and then that feels okay for them to bounce back. If they end up finishing off very poorly on the terrorist side here, in the same way, like 5 rounds on the board, let's say, it will be much more difficult to recover that when they swap over than what we saw over on the Mirage or the Dust.
Yeah. Well, Alu positioned in towards Ivy. Jackson, Amanek swing wide to see if they can spot him. They're up on top of the dumpster, but Alu is not overextending. He knows he would be in an unfavorable position if he were to do so. So sitting back, waiting for them to come towards them.
Aerial's fully pushed into T main and almost spotted the bomb as well.
How's that shot missed from Alu? Yeah, Aerial pushed up in towards T-Con already. Kenny S is waiting for Aerial to come further forward, but there's no need to.
No, absolutely not. He's tucked in the position, hoping that he can find something as they push through. But considering Kenny was so conscious of it, you presume they'll check it. Aerial takes the fight, but still wins it versus Jackson. Upgrades to the AK. He's been a beast with the UMP so far.
One-man advantage for ENCE is in already. And looking to hold on. 40 seconds left for G2 to make a play. They are starting to put most of their forces over towards the B bomb site. And while ENCE are rotating a second player over here, it was originally only Sergey. And well, I say that only Sergey, but he's been absolutely unbelievable so far. 5 kills, 0 deaths, yet to hit the deck. And with 24 seconds left, G2 look to try and finish once more. 2 players entering the B-bomb site through the lower ramparts. Aerial picks off Amanek, so now it's only 3 players remaining on G2, and they're all coming in through the ramp. 10 seconds, they've got to go. And as they push forward, Sergey finds the bomb. A second attempt on a second player, but he cannot pick up Hunter. Instead, the bomb is recovered, and Hunter gets the digits punched in, but it's not in time. It's personal cash, but not overall for the side. It's another round picked up for ENCE. Hunter grabs 1 kill at the end, but again, it's another round here on the board for the Finns, and absolutely nothing for G2. This is so horrible. Kenny has actually died after time as well, so he's got $450 in the bank.
Yeah, that's really hurt G2, the fact that Kenny's got the 450. A pause comes through as they want to discuss where they want to be deploying this cash. Really, this is just not an ideal situation for the Frenchmen. I mean, ENCE are massively ahead, though. They're pulling into it with minimal investment in those rounds and indeed minimal casualties. So again, the cash just begins to build up as they get quite a lot to work with. And the timeout just coming to an end. For G2, they can still invest here if they want to. But it looks like we're seeing a game. It's quite a low buy. Just a Deagle making an appearance here for Jax. So they might just rally around it relatively lightly, look to take themselves a somewhat okay position when it comes to the fights, but I'd like to see them buy up smokes, make sure they've got their flashes to play with, close in the distances, and make these pistols at least a little bit more relevant.
Well, AK for Hunter, hero AK is the term given to this, and while the Molotov at the ready from Sergey, he doesn't spot anybody coming his way, so instead hangs onto it for a later stage in the round. G2 certainly looking like they want to just make sure they go with strength in numbers, see if they can find some sort of plant, at least some money in the bank will be the main goal here for G2, especially with Kenny on the BRP 250 investment, leaving him with $150 in the bank. He's not exactly well off. And, well, he'll look to change that. G2 coming in towards the B-bomb site. You've got one player positioned outside of the connector for ENCE. It's Alu on the AWP. And, well, he looks to try and deliver. KennyS is the player who does fall. Jax with the kill on the Deagle and a chance now for G2 to get that bomb plant.
They've lost the player because they didn't wait for the smokes to bloom. Nice position by Amanek, though.
Yeah, solid position. Jackson below. Amanek finds the follow-up on the AWP. It's X7 and Sunny. 2v3 now as well as ENCE need this, but Jax is continuing to frag. It's all on Sunny. First kill is through, but 2 more are needed to collect another round on the board for ENCE. This could be the first for G2, but Sunny slithering up on the right side, slithering through, back into the bomb site as the time begins to tick. He's spotted, and he's dropped. Around where G2 were completely unfavored, they managed to pick it up, and too often do we see that on the T side when they enter the B bomb site. It's all those close angles you can gather up and push through the ramparts.
You're seeing Hellcase down the bottom there. Use code ECC20 for 20% bonus whenever you're topping up your account. One of the sponsors here at this tournament. They make it possible, the 300K event. And speaking about 300K, $50,000 on offer for whichever team wins this map, guaranteed. And they'll be in the finals then to fight for an extra 100K.
Yeah. Well, Kenny has 4 HP need. Was rather close, but this is not the kind of start Kenny would have wanted. Finally getting that AWP into his hands. He's had an absolute horrible game so far. And while Sunny up on top of the blue train, looks to try and deliver for ENCE. It's still a 3v2 as ENCE have just lost a player. Sunny moving forward, needs to deliver, but doesn't look in the right direction. And G2 clean it up. Nexa on the AWP he picked up off the cold dead body of KennyS. Delivers an incredible shot, giving 2 on the board now for G2.
I love the look on Kenny's face when he got naded down to 4 HP. It was just like utter defeat. Come on, guys, please.
I mean, Kenny is yet to get a single kill. He's currently going 0-1-7. He's got 15.4 ADR. He's had a situation where he's died after time and been left with $350. This guy is not having a good game whatsoever.
No, he's been completely shut out of it. I was wondering about his all play on the T side. Now we finally get to see it. That wallbang not going to connect. On 5-2, G2 are still very much in the game. This should be obviously a third connected for them up against these pistols. They do have to be careful, though. If they push in as ENCE start to rotate towards the A bomb site, they could be losing a couple of rifles, and they can't really afford to.
Alu going up on top of the brand train. This round for ENCE certainly not going to go their way. To spam a couple of shots. It's Hunter trying to connect onto some of these players. It's around the corner. 1 minute and 5 seconds left. G2 taking a little bit of damage in the form of Hunter. USPs can be very difficult to deal with if they're playing together in a stacked force, and that's exactly what they're doing right now up on top of the green train, moving forward, trying to cause some problems for G2. Hunter will find 1. The kill comes through from Alu, but it's instantly replied to, and Sergey is now the last remaining player in a 1v4. The Deagle in his hands, he'll look to connect, and that's the bomb. A nice shot to start things off, and well, if he can find a couple more, that would be certainly an added bonus here for ENCE. They weren't expected to get too much done, but he's going forward, in behind the smoke, and eventually will be dropped. Amanek will confirm 3 now for G2. And again, we're back to money for ENCE, so a buy will be coming in.
Yeah, here's where they can compete from it. You don't expect much from them in the previous round. A couple rifles dropped is really an ideal world for them. G2, though, this is where we want them to obviously build up a little bit of cash in the previous rounds. They have managed it to some extent, rebuy as possible. Should they lose this, although there would be certainly some significant weaknesses in it. Starting it out, there's going to be flashes thrown over towards the A bomb site, just feigning out to slow down any aggression that might be coming through. As the Pop Dog players get into position, Amanek has nobody up close to him, the benefit of those flashbangs, and they're playing quite passive. Well, on the side at least. We just saw Sunny starting to get aggressive in Ivy, but this is a dangerous game to play. KennyS is waiting with the AWP, and Sunny's inching forward.
Could this be the first kill for KennyS on the 3rd map? What a quiet end to Dust 2 he had alongside a quiet start into Trin. This is not what G2 need in such an important map. Again, if you are just tuning in, this is the first semi-final of the day. One of these teams will head to the grand final. The other will not be out completely. They will play in a 3rd to 4th place decider, but as a competitor, that's not a match you ever want to play.
No, not at all. It's for an extra 10k though, so you can definitely deal with it. X7 spamming through those smokes, trying to find himself something. Forced back by the flashbangs as well. G2 are now going to start the push forward, and they open it up beautifully.
Yeah, good kill coming in from Jax. Aerial lining them up. It's a headshot on towards Amadek that is connected. And now in equilibrium, a 4v4 with Hunter. Finding an important kill as Sergey starts to wrap through the connector, hoping he can spot a player, but G2 have been quite lucky on the timing that they've gotten to solid positions, and in fact, Sunny could be the man to end it all. The man to pull it back for ENCE perhaps as he moves forward from T-Con. The lineup's in, the second player dropped as well. He can find even more than the two he's already mastered. And well, it's all on to Kenny S. The AWP looking to deliver. He looks up towards the blue train, a fast flick from Kenny. And now it's a 1v1, a battle of the snipers. Alu up against Kenny S. He'll go towards the brown trin ladder. Kenny trying to play the mind games. What is that? That's a wrist breaker from Kenny S. And he wins the 1v1.
Someone said Kenny's having a rough start. Well, he's back. He's ready to roll. 2 kills on the board and a 4th for G2. ENCE now with no money. They're crippled after that one. And what a way to lose it.
Someone needs to check Kenny S's wrist. That is unbelievably fast from Kenny. We definitely have to see this again. The first one was difficult to hit, but this one is just unbelievable from Kenny S. Even in a slow-mo replay, sometimes it looks a little bit too fast as Nexa runs straight through in towards the A-bomb site with a Mac-10.
Yeah, they love just blitzing out here with the smokes they've thrown down. Hunter and Nexa both find frags, and ENCE are just being ripped apart here. Alu spotted as well, so he...
Oh!
All right.
Yeah, Kenny S is certainly warming up. The 3 kills he's collected are quite stellar, and well, now G2, 5. Scoreline even. 5 on the T side is pretty good so far, but they'll be looking for a little bit more. This is where ENCE really do need to start to deliver more. 14-6 on Sunny. He's starting to have a better performance. Unfortunately, no one else really up there with him. We'll see if this double up setup between Alu and X7 can be the approach that gets ENCE another round win.
The fast blitz out by Hunter yet again. He's met this time, but the shot missed by X7. And that's going to cost him his life and map control as Sunny picks up one to recover it. And he knows Hunter's around Ivy and Green Train. Going back to deal with him as Aerial off cam picks up 2. This is falling apart very quickly for G2, considering that opening duel and the progression that they had.
Amadek making his way through Sandwich. No one presenting themselves, but Hunter trying to move up. He's going to be caught by Alu. At least one position is known for Amadek, but he's still got so many more to check. Up on top of Heaven is one more player remaining, but it doesn't even matter. Alu comes round from the back and sweeps it up. ENCE get an important round win. 6 now on the board.
Yeah, they need it on the CT side now. G2 have already recovered a decent enough scoreline, considering there's plenty more rounds to play for. But their economy is going to be tested now, investing in practically fully. The AWP coming out yet again on Kenny and a T-side timeout, which makes perfect sense. G2 need to discuss their strategy and make sure that it works here, because this is their best chance to have a convincing half, which they would really like to have. We know that they were talking on the desk about how ENCE's terrorist side isn't as strong here as it once was. So if you can make sure that they're not hitting the double digits or even the 9 rounds, that could be really solid for you then to close out the series and secure yourself the place in the grand finale.
I think G2 should be pretty happy with the rounds they've already got on the board. And obviously they have a chance to pick up a few more. Pressure's really on ENCE to perform better on the CT side. And they are still in that good position. We know they can sometimes struggle on the T side, as many teams do on Trin. Heading out towards the site. Alu here, flashbind, and Hunter not wasting any time right through Molotovs. He will go. And he's just playing in behind the sandwich. Smoke, good kill. Sunny ran through it, and Hunter was ready, but the kill comes through the smoke from Aerial. At least he keeps it even.
G2 coming in through Ivy, but look at the position Nex is in. He's up outside the B bomb site. Creeping slowly through. The Ivy players boosted up. The shot missed by Kenny S, though. That's disappointing. Could have been a man advantage to play with, but a smoke goes down as they'll have open access into towards CT, but maybe not open as X7 spams through the smoke to take down Jazz.
Minute and 5 left here in play for G2. They've lost a man already. And ENCE have got so much control with Aerial pushing in from behind. This could be the linchpin. This could be the play that ends G2 in round number 12. But Aerial doesn't round the corner. He's too wary of the possibility that they're already watching this, that they think this is a possibility, but no one is looking that far down. Instead, they're going to be making their way through Ivy. ENCE is there. Amanek is leading the charge. Wanting to clear these close corners. 34 seconds. Amanek, the front man, still. Nexa is positioned over towards B. He can start to make an innovative push in towards the lower bomb site. And while Aerial comes in with the big flank, it's going to be a great kill. Nexa caught off guard by that. ENCE and Amanek left. 2v4, make it 1v4 for ENCE. Bomb plant can start to come through. The tap is there. Kenny with a quick shot, but still winning this is impossible. He'll hide at the bottom of the ladder, and the time is too far gone. ENCE will find a 7th. 7-5 now on the board, and Kenny will just be happy he didn't die after time.
A really pivotal push by Aerial, moving in through main, coming up behind them on B, catches the kill, but also feeds the information over of this isn't a B hit. The players then rotating around and easily able to deal with G2 as they walk through. Now with the money on the board, I think G2 probably going in for pistols alongside a small bit of armor. You've already seen quite a lot being bought up in and around that ballpark. An SMG in the hands of Amanek, the only difference. For ENCE, though, this is important not to lose players because they haven't got a lot of cash. If G2 can get 2 kills, I'll be happy with this round.
Well, Sergey holding on. They're coming towards them. It's a conveyor belt of death. Sergey, 3 kills. Alu stepping in as well. And our Jax slithering away, getting the bomb plant through at least, but winning the round impossible. A kill or 2 will be perfect, but Alu seals that as well.
Yeah, just 1 kill to come through. And the bomb plant as well. It's a small upside for them. ENCE's economy won't be kept too low by it. Especially as it was Sergey, who's got plenty of cash to reinvest into that util and armor alongside the weapon. Now for G2, it's really their last opportunity. They're going to have this strong buy. You don't want to leave it down to the 15th round to try and pick up 6. I would like to see them on 6 by the end of this. I mean, 5 rounds might be just edging it a little bit too far, giving ENCE a very strong opportunity. And the timeout comes through. This is the 3rd timeout of the game, of the map, called by G2, as they really want to get that 6th round up. They'll have a read on the economy enough that they understand that they probably won't get a free one afterwards. It will be another full buy round that they have to fight for. But this is their best chance of securing it. So far, we've also seen, as predicted at the very beginning of the game, ENCE with a little bit of a slower start. We saw it on Mirage. We saw it on Dust 2 as well, not being there when it came to the terrorist side. Indeed, G2 in general have very much been an oven in this game. ENCE the microwave, ready to go at the start, but maybe turn off a little bit too quickly. But the oven of G2, once that got warm and heated up, it was ready to cook dinner all night long.
Well, speaking of food, I'm sure G2 are hungry for a little bit more. As they come into this, 5 is okay, but obviously they want definitely that buffer. If they can get 6, it's perfect. G2 is starting to put a little bit more of a slower approach into things. Amanek in the smoke. Going back inside of the site. Here's X7. Got 2 players pushing out close in towards Popdog. It's Sunny. He's actually going to be turning his attentions in towards T-Con, but needs to be careful once the smoke fades. Amanek will be available to take him down. Utility thrown in towards the A bomb site. G2 is certainly looking like they want to finish on this side of the map as Sunny looks to spray away. He's got 1 kill. Damage was done in light Aerial to pick up 1 frag, and he will actually find a 2nd before falling to Nexa, who is alone in a 1v5, and this is not exactly winnable for him, unfortunately. And one ENCE about to go to 9. And while G2 really struggling for ways to win rounds here, you always have that moment when you see a lot of teams play on trade and when they get a few on the T side, but once the CT side figure you out, it's so difficult to get a way back into it.
At the moment, I mean, G2 just got mowed down, though. Coming out of Pop, they lined up, and it was an easy double kill to find. Very similar situation happening in main. That's very upsetting for them because this round meant so much to them. And the investment being so minuscule in the next. But Sergey finding that final kill, it confirms 9 rounds for ENCE, at least on the halftime. which means no matter what, this can't really be a bad half.
Yeah.
Now looking to confirm double digits and see if they can really walk away with a smile on their faces as they move into the next half.
Yeah, well, coming into this, it is going to be definitely an important round for ENCE to try and get double figures, but G2 certainly would want to try and grab 6. It's unlikely with the weapons that they've brought to the table. 4 kill deals, a Mac 10 for Amanek. Utility is available, though. We'll see whether or not that means anything here for G2 as Hunter going out in towards A site. He's done this quite a few times, as he's done before. When he makes his way through in behind the smoke, he'll look for a pick on towards Aerial on the other end of the smoke, but these smokes are causing problems for Hunter alongside the Molotov. That just burns him away alongside X7, who continues to drop player after player on G2. This is not a round that's gone well for G2 whatsoever. I feel like I haven't seen anything as KennyS is in behind the smokes. ENCE look to try and topple him, and it's 10-5 for ENCE at the half. Similar to the performance on Dust 2. It's time for a break, but we'll see if ENCE can make it to the grand final after this. Well, ENCE were fired up on their CT side, 10 on the board. They reached double figures, and that's exactly what they need coming into this second half. G2, they found a couple at the start with some flashy plays from KennyS, but really for the most of the half, for the majority of it, they looked uninspired on the T side. Well, 10-5, it's the pistol arriving, and ENCE want to try and get off to a good start on this T side. They haven't brought any utility into it, so they're really relying on just hitting some headshots.
Sonny was 9 for 1 at 11 for 1 actually at one point over in the first half, and has continued to have a really good performance for ENCE. I'm curious to see how that changes moving to the T side, but I'd be sure KennyS is about to step it up because that's what we've seen from him when he's on the defensive side, opping. Amanek has spotted them over towards Ivy, spotted 1, so a smoke goes down as G2 look to hold them back and run that clock a little bit lower. Finding an opening duel is, of course, KennyS.
Well, Kenny with the opening pick, man advantage for G2 into a crucial pistol for them. ENCE unable to reply just yet. They don't even have utility to sort of limit the positions that they could be playing from, or at least getting them close by. So X7 needs to dart forward, looking for a headshot, but 2 players are peeking him from 2 different angles, and that results in a kill for G2. Looking so solid for G2 right now at the start of this pistol. The bomb is on the floor. A minute left. Relocating back in towards the B bomb site. Aerial and Sergey managed 2 kills, but it's still not enough. That kill could have been, but unfortunately for Sergey, he cannot pick it up. And so Aerial, 10 HP, will fall. G2 find the pistol. 6 on the board now for them. And well, I always keep going to say that they're the French team, but the thing is, they're coming into this roster now where they've got these 3 French players and 2 players coming in from Crazy from completely different backgrounds. So clearly, the communication can be a bit of a problem for G2. That's always a talking point, and they've got to be on point here in the second half.
They certainly do. Winning at that pistol was a start, but it's definitely not going to be easy from this point forward because we're looking at the force buy from ENCE. Now, if they find this, they're back in a perfectly acceptable position at 10 to presumably even 8 scoreline. Catching right up on ENCE immediately. ENCE making these aggressive economic decisions. You've got a scout on Sergey, everybody else with the pistols. It's a powerful combination, especially on Train. Yet to really yield any results with both Alu and Sergey lit up early on. Movement comes towards Ivy, where the scout's going to meet up with its teammates and see if it can catch a kill in just a little bit. But G2 at the moment not overextending. Leaves Amanek in a vulnerable position because he's got no players close by to assist him, and he could be rushed down by a few pistols very soon.
Amanek wits with a FAMAS. These are the type of kills that can really build your confidence. Sunny, X7 and Sergey will eventually round this corner, but with the weapons that they've got, it really does feel like Amanek might just be in a one and done. He doesn't even get one. Sunny's so quick. X7 as well delivers a lightning fast 1-dig.
G2 not going to be feeling too good about this position. It's starting to shut. They're starting to be shut out of this. As ENCE gain a lot of map control, they've got a line of players. Bomb's starting to move towards the bomb site. It's on Hunter here to stop him.
That's a bit of a Kobe coming in. Nexa dropping Sergey. Hunter moving forward, but it's dropped by Sunny, who keeps on delivering. He will eventually fall to Nexa, who needs to find a 1v3. He's collected the first and still paranoid about the flank from behind, but it's not the case. 10 seconds, bombs picked up. Both players now in position on the A bomb site. Nexa moving forward, but X7 holds the angle. G2, they do not want to lose this. They can't afford to, as Alu's on 10 HP. Nexa only needs the one bullet. Smoke for the bomb. He doesn't tap it, so Alu's not drawn towards it just yet. Nexa's looking for him on top of one of these trains, and that's exactly where Alu's playing from. Up on top of the blue train, still there, still positioned down. One bullet done. Nexa wins the clutch. And you can hear just cheers from G2 as they finally pick up that round. It was looking so scary for them.
Yeah, it certainly came a lot closer than I think G2 will be happy to repeat. But picking up that 7th round is going to put a little bit of wind in their sails. ENCE being able to find a bomb plant, though, does light their economy up. And look, they're actually going in for an investment. A force buy of sorts, with rifles making an appearance across the board. It doesn't grant G2 what we were talking about, the potential 10-8, had they have won that previous round without allowing a bomb plant to go through. This is now very dangerous for them. And considering Kenny S has that AWP and he's positioned in towards Ivy, it could be dangerous for ENCE as well. They're looking at the A side favorably with the bomb coming right into Kenny's scope.
Well, Nexa at the bottom of the ramp, MP7 in his hands. ENCE wanting to try and deliver a blow here towards G2 with the weapons that they've managed to muster together. There's a few Galils and yes, a Scout, but these weapons can be so potent in the right hands. And Sergey trying to find some opening to soften up an opponent here in the B bomb site. Hunter is the only player close by. I think Sergey just got tabs on where his possible whereabouts are. So Sergey doesn't want to overextend because this is likely to fall. Well, Hunter just waiting around the corner. Still a very slow approach from ENCE as you have two players positioning towards Ivy, which is completely open. G2 not holding on. Instead, Kenny finally gets caught in the action. He's been waiting patiently for his prey to come towards his AWP, and he's certainly delivering when he spots them.
Check out Sergey. Look at him coming out with a scout. Hasn't spotted the players, though, just down below him as X7 falls. The bomb comes out, and actually Ariel manages to stay alive.
Well, Ariel manages to stay alive and get 2 kills. Incredible stuff from Ariel. He's just tapping everyone away. Ariel gets it done. A bomb plant through. Now Hunter and Nexa needing to recover. And what was looking good for G2, the initial kills going their way, has fallen flat on its face. And now Nexa and Hunter, the duo, trying to get back in towards the site. From Pop Dog, Nexa will emerge, but Sergey turns, cannot pick up the kill. Nexa stays alive without taking damage, and Ariel, the player that's been so impactful, delivers his 4th kill off the round, delivering death as Sunny finds the closer. It's 11 for ENCE, and this is incredible.
Absolutely fantastic stuff for them, breaching the double digits and then bringing it even further. And what I'm curious about is Ariel's performance so far in this event, and indeed just in general in this lineup, hasn't seen him be anywhere near what he is playing at right now. I mean, he's destroying. When it comes down to certainly the UMP, you see him often playing with the weaker weapons, but right there, that was such a crucial 3K on the bomb site, just shutting it down, opening up room to get the bomb planted as well. G2 now in a lot of trouble, as they've got their 7 rounds on the board, but force buying up fully here leaves them with not a whole lot of cash remaining.
Yeah, it feels like at this point G2 just don't have the firepower at the minute.
Sure.
Players aren't really hitting their stride. There's been kills, yes, across the board, obviously, from them, but there hasn't been that huge step up from Hunter that was on map number 1. And the complete converse topic is the fact that ENCE had Sunny underperform on Mirage, but he stepped up across these last 2 maps, a big part of their success. And while if he continues to play like this, they might just take it over the line and find themselves a spot in the grand final. Next will be the first player to take damage here. G2 will be pretty upset about taking so much damage on board already. They've conceded control in towards Ivy as well. Amanek looking to try and hit some shots with the scout and the cross. He connects on towards X7, nearly on towards Sunny as well.
Nexus got an angle that I don't think we're going to be checking all too often.
Oh, not letting that one slide, Rich. Why not yesterday? Well, Kenny is going to go back in towards connector. 30 seconds left on this clock. Kenny going back in towards the B-bomb site, and Hunter pushing through all the way up towards Pop Dog. But he needs to try and recover this A-bomb site. ENCE have already got full control. ENCE basically look like the team that are just dominating on every front. G2 have not competed in at least last few rounds at all.
If it wasn't for the pistol round that they picked up as well, this would just be a disaster. They would be shut out immediately. It would be 13-5. Saving over these weapons, okay, it gets a little bit better with the kill going down, but it's just a MAC-10 that's recovered. At this point, ENCE won't really be trying to hunt any further. They want to just carry these AKs through to the next round, which obviously makes sense. There's no point trying to take an SMG or a pistol out of your opponent's hands to give them potentially an AK-47. G2 don't have a lot of chance coming into the next round as ENCE pick up a 12th, likely a 13th. Again, just a few SMGs to be worried about. This T side is certainly stepping it up on a level I wasn't expecting so far. Or, well, more so their CT side set them up for success. They're bouncing back from losing the pistol. But when we come down to the full buy rounds where everything is to work with, we haven't really seen a lot of promise from G2.
Not at all. Well, ENCE have certainly looked like a walk in the park in these last few rounds. This should be another one up against a completely weak buy of G2. Alu straight through with a MAC-10, looking to pick up some money. He wants to drop Kenny early on, and Jax will fall victim to it as well. The MAC-10 just dodging these bullets like it's in the Matrix. Alex will find himself Alu with another, and not Hunter and Nexa into a 2v5. Hunter just holding on. He will have a chance on the MAC-10 as Alu will finally rattle them all away. 4 kills picked up, and now Nexa, a 1 versus 5. Not going to happen as ENCE will go to 13.
It's not a full eco for G2, but it sure looked like it with how Alu just ran out there and mowed the lawn. 4 kills on the board, so much money built up. He's on 6.1K right now. This is going to help them out a lot, pulling out the AWP in the next round when they can definitely use it. For Nexa, he's playing this right, took it away. He's unlikely to find anything because with the weapons that ENCE have, okay, Alu has got a MAC-10, so he could hunt, but he's so low. Oh, they're holding hands. How nice. You need some sort of comfort, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean, at least they gone down together, right? That's the thing. Well, 13-7 now. ENCE looking in prime position to reach the grand final here, the Champions Cup. They would be the first team to secure their spot. Both of these teams coming into this event were looked at as the favorites, right? One of the teams expecting them both to be in the grand final, but ENCE had a slower start in the tournament, taking a loss to the Movistar Riders, throwing them into this side of the bracket up against G2. And while they probably were not exactly happy to see this team at this point, but they are certainly showing up here on train. G2, not exactly a good performance at all for them here. They had 5 on the T side. A little bit of action towards the start of this second half. But other than that, absolutely nothing to talk about for G2.
All they've got going for them on their CT side right now is they won a pistol and an eco. That's it. As the timeout comes to an end, this is where G2 better have pulled out some insane strategies, because they're not only approaching a buy round that so far they haven't looked too good in it, they also don't have a lot of utility. Amanek has none. Jack's only a Molotov and a smoke and a flash on Hunter and Kenny. This couldn't be worse for G2. Worse timing for these kind of weaknesses to be coming through. No AWP either. As ENCE on 13 rounds, they look to secure a 14th and cripple the G2 economy. Early nades do a lot of damage as well. Jax and Nexa both lit to 50.
Amanek heads his way in towards Pop Dog. The Molotov was burning in that general direction. But I'm sure it will fade. ENCE gathering pretty much everyone over towards B here, ready to just go straight through the ramp. And I like this call. Kenny S starts off with a good kill, though, on towards X7. And ENCE, well, they maybe don't expect there to be so much resistance from G2 as Nexo push forward and find himself 2 great kills. This is excellent stuff. G2 managing to pull it back. Ariel and Alu left into such a different position. 1 minute and 5 seconds. G2 have stopped this approach. I liked the call initially from ENCE, but it was poorly executed, right? It was good resistance from G2, stopping the push from coming in. Immediately forces ENCE to sort of run back away from it. And that does leave Ariel and Alu in pretty much an unwinnable position. Positive thing is for ENCE, moving into the next round though, they'll still have money in the bank. So at this point, it's all about getting damage on towards these G2 players, knowing that they are not in the greatest or strongest economic situation. Kenny S will not fall. Instead, he is tapping away with the M4, and Nexa delivers his 3rd kill of the round. G2 not done yet. Finally, another round picked up.
But here's the caveat. ENCE have got lots of money to play with. They can get a full buy out immediately, and G2 still won't have an AWP. They had to reinvest into a rifle, but nobody had the money to buy that up. So again, Kenny sat there, squinting at his screen, probably sitting close. He's used to being able to zoom in. ENCE being so close to victory, they're not even calling a pause at this point. They want to just roll with it. We saw that maybe cause a couple of problems on the previous map for them, but I don't think it's pause time just yet. They want to roll with the momentum. They want to move forward. And as we look towards the A site, we were trying to catch an angle. Sergey, Sunny, Ariel, everybody's low with Sergey falling.
That nade's good as well. Sunny's going to be dropped to 13 inside of Pop Dog. He doesn't try to flee. If he did, certainly would have been a kill for Amanek because he was anticipating the fallback. But now the play can slow again. So much time for ENCE to play with. That's at least one silver lining. But G2 have got off to a great start, and Nex has just gone on a bit of a walk straight through the brown holes, all the way through past the kitchen area as well. This is not good for ENCE. There's so much information coming through from G2, but Nex's push has been stopped by X7. So there's the trade. Nex are perhaps a little bit too aggressive coming through, and Ariel will find a headshot on towards Jack. Somehow this is flipped on its head. Amanek will pick up a headshot from heaven, throws a smoke to cover himself off. Also has the backup of Kenny, who finds a player blinded in the open. A second kill coming in as well, displaying grit skills on the M4A1S. Amanek will seal the deal, thanks to the assisting damage of Kenny S. And it's 9 now for G2. They started the comeback on Dust 2. They started to pull it all the way through, felt the final hurdle. Perhaps this time they can do one better, pull it all the way back and get it over the line.
Here's ENCE calling the timeout. This is what we were waiting for. They're calling it a little earlier than the previous map this time, as they want to be grabbing themselves rifles, presumably. Sergey hasn't got the best of money, but for the most part, you could get a buyout.
And the incredible thing as well is this is the first tactical pause ENCE have had to call, right? So this is really the first time they've been under any sort of pressure.
Have G2 used their last one, or do they have one remaining?
I believe they've used all of them.
Yeah, they've been throwing them out. I mean, they used so many in the first couple of rounds over on their T side.
I mean, if it pays off, that's in this point, you know, at this point where you're up against the ropes, your back was against the wall, and finally you're starting to find a little bit of success, it's certainly worth it. And well, now ENCE, they've got a pretty shabby buy coming into this, but that's because they want to leave most of the money for the next round. So they've come into this with a couple of Galeals, obviously with one of the most recent updates. The Galeo is now worth $1,800, so you can get those up pretty quickly.
A little bit of an adaptation on what G2 were going for in their T side. Smokes go down, same positions. They try to close the distance together. Ariel pushing down alongside Sunny. to see what they can do up close and personal around those smokes, but not finding anything. They're moving towards the back of the brown train where Aerial's being dropped. Sunny with the trade, but not much else to happen after that. The B bomb site's been overrun, and the bomb should be planted. Oh, Hunter just W keys it all the way through, but he's not going to be there in time. Danger lurks with Alu right down below him, but only one kill to be found. And there's another round coming in for G2. They've just secured double digits. Now ENCE are going to be sweating.
I mentioned it previously in another match. When you hit those double figures in the comeback, mental switch sort of turns on. You realize you're not too far away from pulling this off, and G2 certainly are still in this game with recent success finally coming in. But ENCE, they took that decision to go with a little bit of a half buy in the previous so that they could get this fully fleshed out buy into this one. Alu, does he decide to go with the AWP? He does. So he's taking the hit. He's going for the glass cannon. We've seen him do this on Dust 2 quite a bit. Feels more comfortable to have the AWP in his hands rather than the rifle and the Kevlar. And I think that's definitely the right call. I think you want to have Alu on the AWP, especially when you've got Kenny on his.
We've not seen many rounds where you've got the battle of the AWP so far. Of course, Kenny had that really slow start in the first half where his money was just being stripped away constantly. Now he gets to show us just what he can do with it. Rotating around to the B side early on. You've got a player in Pop Dog and one up near Olaf in between the trains. This is curious. You're leaving Ivy completely open, hoping the deep smoke keeps ENCE back. Should they have walked through that, though, they would have complete access towards CT, and this is potentially a huge flaw for G2. They have to get aggressive, and it's up towards upper B that they do so. Hunter finding the frag there, but only spotting one player. That'll prompt a quick rotation back towards the A-bomb site where the hit is about to come through.
Well, Jax moves through the smoke. He wants to get aggressive, and well, that's something we've come to get used to from Jax on the CT side. Sunny wants to explode in from Ivy. Jax is ready here on the edge of the blue train. Aerial has pushed his way up in towards Olaf. Jax needs to be careful he doesn't get caught by the timing. The flash is good. Aerial blinded. Jax able to pick up the kill, but X7 walks in with a frag of his own. And now it's a 3v4. The advantage siding with G2, and it's followed up by Kenny S, who finds himself the kill on towards X7. Leaving Sunny and Alu in a pretty unrecoverable position. 25 seconds where they need to deliver it. They'll move forward into the site. Missed shot from Alu. He's taking so much damage and he cannot get away. Headshot from Nexa. Sunny hits the deck, and it's 11 now. This is incredible. G2 are certainly doing this.
They've been a comeback machine throughout this whole series, and they're doing it yet again on train. CT side certainly helps them out a little bit, and it's going to help them out a little bit more with the fact that ENCE don't have a lot of cash. Presumably just pistols to come through over on the terrorist side, which leaves G2 then with a chance to build even more money, even more security should they lose a freak round, to not have to concede at least in overtime. And as you look at what ENCE are working with, you can see absolutely they haven't got the best of chances in this round. 3 smokes to play with, though. They can use those to close in the distance. It looks like the A site's the one that's going to be hit, with players outside of T main and indeed Ivy. The bomb making a move over towards Pop Dog as well, and they can eventually just split down here using Sergey and Sunny to come through Pop, and the rest through T-Main and Ivy. Like for G2 at the moment, I'm glad they haven't mixed up on what they were doing before, sending the AWP all the way around, leaving Ivy open, but they know that they're going to be against a weaker investment at the moment, so this is a really important part of the game plan, to hold the longer range duels and make sure that you're not giving the pistols the opportunity to close the distance and get into a range that takes away from the advantage of your rifle.
Well, Kenny S just moves through the smoke and has to get away on the missed shot. Doesn't want to be caught out of position when the pistols start running towards him. There's a chance again, nearly hitting the shot but not coming through. ENCE have a decent position in towards Ivy now at this point. They want to work in tandem with the players that are in T-Con. Well, there is only one remaining thanks to the headshot of Jax, who was able to pick up Sergey and send him to the grave. 35 seconds, Kenny S holding on, X7 coming forward with 2 more of his teammates, Alu and Sunny, ready to put pressure on towards Kenny S. Can he deal with it as the smoke comes up? That'll cascade his vision. He can't see what's going on. He has to turn away from the flash, and he misses the shot. That's not what you're used to seeing from Kenny S. He doesn't get a single kill, and now there's an open play for Alu. That's exactly what you want for ENCE in a round like this, where you've taken a little bit of a half investment to save the money for the next, but it's a cleanup coming in from G2. Alu will find a pick, but it's not enough. And 12 now for G2, 13-12. This could be it. The round coming up now is so important for ENCE. They have to keep their lead. Lose this, And G2 have even the scoreline. They've got the momentum on their side. Who knows where this will go?
ENCE have still got plenty more tactical pauses, but as the timer ticks down, it doesn't look like they're going to use one. Rolling into this round head first in such a crucial point of the map, and indeed of the series. This is for a place in the grand finals. They're going to take the risk of rolling into it. Let's see what their game plan is as they move up towards upper B early on. Conscious maybe of an AWP playing around here, or of aggression as a smoke had come up deep on the ramp. Usually this is going to be a player pushing up and trying to get around that smoke to catch an angle on you. They're conscious of it to try and find an opening duel, but G2 not offering anything, playing a relatively standard hold. What we've seen from them plenty of times so far, with a little bit of extra pop dog aggression coming through from Amanek. Like, look, this to me is a much slower round for ENCE because they know it's such an important round. They don't want to give away any picks. They want to make sure that if G2 get aggressive, they're able to catch them off. They've got players watching Ivy, T main, Pop Dog, upper B pushes. They're spreading out and hoping a mistake is made. The problem with this, and we've seen it before on map number 1 a couple of times, where as the clock runs down, now you've got to make a decision on where you're going, but it's not a very well-informed one.
Well, the smoke's going towards the site. Sunny jumps over to try and get the information a bit. Amanek perhaps to take the peek. Flash is coming through. So many pieces of utility used up, but Amanek, he does not look away from that decoy. Sunny will fall. And now the push coming in towards the B bomb site. It's G2 picking it up, making it look easy. The momentum is there, and Hunter finding 2 on the AUG. It's all on Alu. A 1 versus 4, 20 seconds again left. Barely any time to do anything. And well, he will pick up Jax from the backside, but again, impossible for winning. And now G2 will even the scoreline, 13-13. 3 away from victory for both sides, but currently G2 are in the driver's seat.
They absolutely are. They've just strung together so many rounds. We saw them win the pistol versus the eco then afterwards. Then it started to look like they were in dire straits. ENCE bring it up to 13 rounds, but after excuse me, 6 in a row, G2 have won our hearts and won our minds. For ENCE, the timeout comes through as it looks like they're trying to get their minds in order. They've got a while to discuss with their coach as to what they need to do, and I bet there's going to be plenty of discussion. Thing is, G2 are taking their time to communicate as well, streamline the game plan. You've got an AWP coming through on Kenny S, obviously. Is there going to be a secondary for Amanek? No, it's an AK out in front of him. But 13-13 is a position that for G2 was looking very unlikely, even with the CT side advantage. They've been doing it, they've been pulling it back, but not even just that, convincingly as well, with nobody on the team having to step up and make a massive carry. And on the CT side, that's a really crucial feature. If you're relying on 1 or 2 players to perform, it's not going to be easy to consistently have that playing out because they can just go somewhere else.
Yeah. Well, round 27. Important times ahead for ENCE. They lose this one, it's likely going to be 15 on the board for G2. Heartbreaking way to lose this one. Well, Kenny S moves forward up towards the brown halls. Alu scoped in. Kenny not overextending. If he does, he might just fall. He wants to pick on a player that comes into his crosshair, and that victim is Sunny.
And he finds one. No info on whether there's more here or not. Ali was watching it the whole time, but Kenny being so patient and not overextending, like you said. The Molotov goes down to force him back. They know they're now safe to move forward. A smoke will go down, and they're going to try to push the B bomb site. There's no full rotate from G2. Still only 2 players in position, but that is Nexa and Kenny S. These are not easy players to overrun, with the off supporting from the back lines, watching upper, and Nexa ready to catch them as they run down the ramp.
Well, Nexa up on top of the train. Sergey has just got past. Does he know? Nexa has no idea that Sergey is here, but eventually he will find out the hard way. Headshot connected from the young Finnish player as he moves forward, looking to do more damage on towards Hunter, but he is stopped. X7 finally gets something back for ENCE on the Galil. They need the bomb plant. They've got the man deficit as G2 come back in for the retake. Hunter up on top. Molotov heads in towards the oil trim from X7, but Hunter's just creeping, moving closer and closer until his teammates are in better positions. Then he will strike in towards the side. X7 is the victim. Hunter takes him away, and now it's only Alu. A 1 versus 3 for the veteran of the ENCE side. He'll find the first. He goes back for more, but the defuse is coming through. Alu, he needs to get it done, and he can't spam with the AWP. The defuse comes through the smoke. It's G2 with 14, and they are now 2 away from taking themselves to the grand final.
This is such a phenomenal comeback from G2. I was ready to count them out, but they are not stopping here. I'm surprised that ENCE are struggling so much. This is a dominant performance from G2. The most convincing round we're seeing is with 2 players left alive. Like, ENCE just can't get the access in towards these bomb sites.
Well, that bomb plant does allow money to flow in the banks of ENCE, so they get themselves a buy at least. The AKs only though, no AWP. All the utility is available. X7's going to be stopped early. The Molotov from Amnek gets rid of him, but Aerial delivering an important kill.
Got shots going in, but Amanek's not able to return any more than one. Caught out in the open in front of E-Box. Hunter in a position that you know he likes. Usually he's over where Alu is. And as the smoke dissipates, he tries to move forward, but Sunny's conscious and catches him. Nexa not aware that Alu could be coming up behind him.
Nexa, he will fall. Sunny able to find it. Now Kenny S. 1v3 to get G2 their 15th. He heads back in towards the site, spots one player's head on top of the train. But Kenny, he will fall. Sunny gets it done. It's always Sunny in the train yard. 14-14, and they are looking for more here, ENCE. They survived the scare, and G2 now under pressure as well. They've got money in that bank, but they can't take a pause.
Sunny was definitely super impactful when it came towards the start of the game, but he slowed down recently, just now showing his true colors yet again in that round. A 4K for him, and it doesn't get much better than that. No better time to pull out your skills when it's 14-14 now. We need a little bit more as the T-side timeout comes into fruition. ENCE are wanting to discuss their strategy a little bit more in depth, and they know this is important. If they win this, it could be game. G2 have no money. They've invested fully into this round, so a loss here for G2 is essentially a loss on the map and a loss overall. They'll go to the 3rd, 4th place decider.
And that's not where either of these teams want to be performing. They want to be on the final stage. They want to be playing on the big grand final. 14-14.
Those are serious eyes.
Yeah. Well, they've got to be serious. A lot on the line in this round here coming up. Important times ahead for both sides. Money is that breaking point for both of these rosters. Whoever wins this likely wins the series. Likely books their tickets for the grand final. Utility coming through a Molotov. A good fast play in towards Ivy. A change in pace from G2. And Amanek walks away with a kill.
Bailing out of there now. G2 with a man advantage to play with. ENCE try to recover it with spams through the smoke, but that's just desperation at play. As G2 begin a bit of a rotate towards the B bomb side, making sure that they're holding down 2-3. Why not? When you've got a man advantage to work with, ENCE can't field as aggressive of an offense as they would hope for. Kenny S's glass cannon out in the open now, which is dangerous as Jax loses his head. The A players are now under threat.
Well, Kenny S looking back in towards Ivy. 1 minute and 2 seconds left. Sunny and Alu moving together. But no, Nexa. You can see in his reaction, not happy about being dropped to 38 HP, but he's happy enough with staying alive. Sergey will fake that he runs down the ramp, and instead will start to back off. 45 seconds. Bomb exiting through Ivy. We have got Kenny S on the all bomb. Perhaps even looking towards Pop Dog with that sniper, but on top here, it's Amanek in the Ivy position. Is certainly being pushed. Sunny is going to come through, but it's Aerial who saves his life. Kenny S in behind the smoke. ENCE have the advantage in the last remaining seconds of this round. Kenny needs to deliver with this up on the cross, and of course he'll connect, but Alu is there to get the immediate trade.
This is a hard retake now for G2 to make happen. They're both coming in from roughly the same angle. Nexa's already so low. They've got a Molotov and a flash. That's all the utility to play with on the CT side as they move in. ENCE are spread out and they're happy to run the time down. Every player can deny that. Defuse, and Nexa's been spotted, taken down on his low HP. Hunter in a 1v3, and it's not looking all too likely.
No, not at all. Hunter, so many different angles. The time ticking, and Sunny is hitting another level right now. It's 15-14, and ENCE, they will reach grand final point. They will be heading there if they win this next round. G2 will muster what they can, but it's going to be barely anything worth talking about. A UMP in the hands of Amanek. A CZ-75 for Hunter. And ENCE call the tactical timeout, but I think G2 will be happy enough that that's coming in as well.
Yeah, they'll be thankful to have time to discuss, but there's not a whole lot you can really do with these weapons unless ENCE make mistakes. plenty to play with on range, and G2 just do not have the ability to fight range at all. They have CZs, they have SMGs, that's it. ENCE, on the other hand, come in with an AWP, they come in with full rifles. This is a dire situation for G2. Desperation is certainly the word that you would use to summarize these last couple of rounds. ENCE destroying all the money, destroying every single round, clocking it up over to match and series point, grand final point. They're almost there. A guaranteed $50,000 awaits them with just one more round. G2 have to hold on and bring it to overtime. And it starts with a fast play out A. The Molotov will slow them down, and G2 try to close the distance.
Well, Real prevented from trying to find that opening in towards main. So back into a slower approach from ENCE. They'll send some players out and towards Ivy, but it's not slow at all from Sergey as he runs in towards Upper. He has Sunny to back him up, and Sunny's the man to pick up the headshot, but Nexa, unchecked, doubles up with a CZ. Man advantage now on G2, and an upgraded rifle to boot. It's Amanek with a headshot, the UMP delivers, and this could be overtime. Likely as well with X7 and Alu, the only remaining players. One kill does come through from X7, and a chance to get another one on towards Kenny S. As X7 starts to wrap around the back, it ships in the night. Does he check his right? And he doesn't. Kenny on his right side. Alu about to be dropped by this, but he goes back in towards Ivy. The cover is still there. And oh, the tension is so high at this point with Kenny moving forward. He knows exactly where Alu's playing from. He has other problems though, Alu. His left and his right are being watched by the CT side, and Kenny gets aggressive. The headshot is in, and now it's all on X7 to stop it from going to overtime. He will find himself one. 35 seconds, he's got the bomb on his back as he runs in towards the B bomb site.
Kenny going straight in through that Molotov. He's 36 HP now. X7's just got the bomb planted. They're coming at him from the back of the train, both on the same angle. Kenny's low, but he still manages to win that duel. And G2 secure themselves in overtime. It's not over yet, Dinko.
Not at all. We go the distance and a little bit more. All the bonus rounds coming right up. We had the tease of overtime earlier on, but ENCE were able to seal it. But this time, G2, they master the comeback. Well, we will be heading to overtime. G2 will start on that CT side. ENCE will be on the T side, continuing where they left off. Kenny, huge play, being able to pick that up. And that comes off the back of Nexa, stepping up with that double on the CZ at the beginning. In behind the spools, they don't check him. He was looking so strong for ENCE at the beginning. But Nexa, just a thorn in their side. And now there is a great chance for G2 to maybe pull this all the way back. ENCE have to dig deep and have that strong mental fortitude here.
Now the economy's out the window. You'll be buying every round unless you're buying 5 ops and losing. For G2, the op on Kenny S, full utility, of course. It's overtime. You get $16,000. You're going to have all the money you want.
Yeah, that's an important talking point as well. 16K instead of 10K means you can get those double up setups if you want them, instead of and not really see the repercussions of overinvestment as much. X7 sits back, wanting to pick up a kill as Amanek puts a little bit of aggression in towards Ivy, but X7 stays alive.
And for G2, they're trying to get aggressive over at Ivy with Amanek. He's still blitzing forward. He's sticking around, which is surprising after that fight we just saw going down. But eventually he decides to bail, doesn't want to get caught when the smoke dissipates. As X7 could have had his teammates rallying up to eliminate him. There's a very passive hold towards the A side, so they have to make up for this by going aggressive, and it's towards B, going up the ramp.
Oh, Sergey, he's got such a strong position to deal with it. First kill, second as well from Sergey. Great kills coming in from ENCE as Jax will find one for G2, but it is not enough. It is only one, and Sunny cancelled it out. Kenny S and Amanek now in a 2v4. 45 seconds left. ENCE side certainly favored now. G2 have to show up in a big way. Kenny S could be the player to deliver that kind of impact. But with 35 seconds, ENCE gathering in towards the B-bomb site. Kenny will be the player under pressure. With the AWP, it's going to be difficult to get more than one here. But we'll see what he can do as they start to come through the smoke. The timing is not strong for Kenny. Follow-up smokes coming through, and it's just chaos for Kenny. He will find one a second as well. That's unbelievable. And he puts it into a winning position now for Amanek. he can come back in towards the site. It is not over. Thanks to Kenny, Amanek has a chance. He hasn't got the utility, but he does have the kit. He'll look over the top and he will spot Alu. They know where he's coming from, and the re-peek from the AWP comes through. ENCE gets 16.
A hard-fought round, and Kenny sure hit some shots, but unfortunately, they can't close it out. And ENCE go to 16, coming through with a really nice set of refrags, though, at the end of the day. They got themselves ahead. Kenny almost tore them apart, but they're again and again able to get those trades out.
I think we've seen flashes from Kenny. It hasn't just been consistent, though. That's the problem. Yeah. We've seen huge flashes of his potential, obviously.
Considering he started 0 for 7.
Yeah, a very, very slow beginning. You start to warm up into it. Sergey looking towards the bottom of the ramp, looking to try and find that opening on the AWP, but G2 getting close and personal. Nexa will take away Sunny's life. This time, the aggression is paying off.
Able to now just post one player, but see, Nexa's 19 HP, so he can't stay aggressive around there. Kenny S has just been taken down on a range duel, tried to peek main, but suffered forward as Jax finds Alu. This is getting a little bit awkward now. Jax in there with a double towards the A-bomb site, and eventually we get to see X7 pushing up through Ivy, but again, he's not going to be finding anything either. 2 players on G2 super low, but Sergey's got the AWP.
Yeah, this is over. It's already won by G2. 16-16 it will be. Sergey just sitting back with the P250 in his hands. And we'll see how much he can do. Add some kills to the tally. Again, money's not a huge factor here. But find a few kills, he wouldn't be against it. We'll start to walk forward. Sergey has delivered quite a bit of impact, but he's been flanked by Hunter, and also Jax pushes with a coordinated attack. It's 16-16 even again, and it's been going on for so long, Mitch. A few hours now we've been at this, and still nothing separating the two sides. No difference in what we began.
Exactly like map 1, just trading the rounds back and forth we go. This is why it's so hard to separate them in the rankings.
Yeah. Well, Sunny has finally broken the 30 kill mark. There's a few players close by as well on both sides, but Sunny is the man to do it first. Straight away, ENCE throwing utility straight in towards the A-bomb site. A faster approach from ENCE this time. Wanting to go in with an execute. Sergey and Sunny, the double S combo, finding themselves 3. It's Kenny S and Nexa needing to deliver, but X7 will get rid of Kenny S. Nexa, the in-game leader inside of the connector, needing to deliver what is impossible, and unfortunately, it will not happen for him. ENCE will go to 17, and Nexa taking damage as well on the fallback. This is quite the change in pace from ENCE. Quite the delivery as well in towards that A-bomb site.
Yeah, the confidence just running out and grabbing all the duels. They've got the utility support there. A couple players are blinded on G2, and it's just easy pickings. With Alu finding the final kill here on Nexa, that is 17 rounds for ENCE. 19 needed to win it as they now swap over to the defensive side. 2 out of 3 is a perfectly acceptable scoreline for them to achieve there. This is looking good for ENCE to close it out, but with how close it's been so far, that kind of logic may not prevail.
Well, 17-16, certainly not the flawless half, but ENCE definitely getting enough on the board to stay ahead. We'll see if G2 can pull it back on their T side. They only managed a couple of runs there on the first half, 5 in fact. So it wasn't exactly their strongest affair, but they need to try and deliver here. ENCE put themselves in a good position. Double up setup as well coming in immediately, and this is something ENCE went towards quite a bit in regulation when they could. X7 on the AWP, Alu on his. We'll see if this is enough to grab map and series point for ENCE once more.
Setup from G2 leaves them with a lot of open doors. Players towards the B bomb site could be used as a fake late on, with 2 and Ivy and the bomb sitting outside of A. It as fast rotates towards the B bomb site, should they wish to redirect, but for now it's looking like it's Pop Dog and Ivy with the bomb coming through main by itself. G2 using their nades up, and Ariel goes down to 34 HP, flashes in play. They delay a little bit and allow him to spray before falling and taking him down.
An advantage here on G2. And they maintain the advantage as well. ENCE no potential to trade. And G2 have so much time to play with as well, so this is certainly favoring them quite heavily into round number 4 of overtime number 1. Alu up on top of the connector boost. We'll throw a deep smoke in towards T-Con. Just trying to hold G2 at bay. Then we'll start to send 2 players back over towards Ivy. They've already got Amadek there, currently waiting on Jackson Kenny S to gather up. And eventually they will impact through. And we have to see X7 deliver with his ult. Sunny going on a bit of a push through the brown holes as well up towards B. The Nexa will stop him from doing so. So now there's a window of opportunity for the B split to come through if they desire. X7 under pressure needs to deliver and misses the first shot. That might just be his death sentence as he can't get a single kill. Sergey will find one on towards Nexa. And with those kills coming through, they can just head towards the A-bomb site. There was time limiting them anyway. G2 managed to get it on the board. There will be a 17th here in play. And again, for I don't know how many times, Mitch, it is even.
We're all tied up to nobody's surprise. G2 keep on delivering. As ENCE at the moment, they're not going to be too worried, but that is a significant chunk of the rounds gone.
Yeah, the fact is that's the advantage that ENCE had right coming into this. They have that advantage to just try and get it through, but even again, on the double up setup, it didn't really deliver. X7 not quite hitting his shots. But this is where the problem now rises, because all the tactical pauses have been used up, right? So we have a point where in overtime, when you have to try and come up with new ideas on the fly, it can be very, very difficult. And G2 are going to send utility straight in towards upper brown holes to prevent that aggressive push that ENCE have actually tried quite a few times now.
At least it's not Dust 2, so you can have a slightly deeper strat book to go with when you move towards the OTs. Again, though, it's going to be G2 leaving the bomb outside of A. Kenny going back to pick that up as we speak, as the other 2 players are, again, poking and prodding at B, making sure no one's getting aggressive, and then they'll move down through Pop Dog, which they've already seized control of, and look for frags. There's Sunny falling. A nice opening again to be found. Not in Pop Dog, but from it.
Hunter. Smoke goes in to cover off the cross to E-Box if he desires to go that way. Resmoke comes through and Alu has a bit of an angle, but the smoke actually prevented his vision of spotting the legs on the ladder, so fortunate there for G2. Ariel again did this in regulation where he was quite proactive in towards the main position. Jack's on the other end of the wall. The rest of the troops starting to gather into his right side as they swing wide. Ariel manages 1. Could have realistically found 2 there, but unfortunately can't line them up.
Molotovs come in all over the side limits where X7 can go, and he gets headshotted immediately. Hunter in there with another, and Alu has to 1v4 this, or it's going to be G2 this time, taking it on map and series point.
Yeah, Alu left alone. Don't think it's going to happen for him. He's going to back away. G2 will go to map point. Incredible shots coming in as they enter that A-bomb site. They won all the important aim duels. They got all the important fights, and ENCE just showed nothing, absolutely nothing, other than that initial kill from Ariel. No one delivering. And the crucial stage of this game, and G2 might just be in the perfect position to steal this away, to go to the grand final and break the hearts of ENCE.
After pulling it all the way back from a position that didn't look likely, they were 13-7 down at one point. ENCE were looking good in half number 2, even despite losing the pistol round, but G2 have put themselves in a position now where they can win it with just 1 more round on the board. Again, you're going to see that double op setup come through from ENCE. So far, they failed to maintain Pop Dog control for more than 20, maybe 25 seconds into the round. And this time, they're just completely conceding it, not getting aggressive on A, not pushing into Pop. They know that that hasn't been working for them, and operating instead around the actual bomb site with 2 players towards the B side of the map, and then 1 down in Ivy, making sure they're not pushed in from behind. This is a very passive stance from ENCE, and you can see that they're just not feeling comfortable making a play right now. This is high stakes, so they go back to the basics, back to what they know works.
Yeah, no one wants to be the player that gives up the early advantage. Makes a slight mistake and things can spiral out of control, so ENCE going for the safe setup, the tried and tested.
And G2 doing very much the same. Kenny S goes back with the bomb to T main. 2 guys down Pop Dog, 2 guys Ivy. It's worked so far, so why change it?
Yeah, well, they drop it towards Pop Dog. Hunter forced in the open, nearly wins the fight, but Sunny this time grabs the advantage for ENCE. They need it. They need every advantage that they can muster.
Okay, so now we've had a change of pace because they've lost Pop Dog. That hasn't been a factor so far. So you've got to relook at the strategy and think, okay, how does that affect our take? And significantly is the answer. So they're going to move instead towards the B-bomb site, trying out something new. The issue is there's 30 seconds and they have no info on how ENCE play towards B. So this is a really risky situation for them because they're going in blind, essentially.
They start to make their way over towards B. The front man on the charge. Flares all over the site itself. Alu waiting, looking up towards heaven as they are starting to come through. Amanek's going to be the front man. 10 seconds to hold on here. ENCE doing a good job so far. G2, can they pull it off? Can they get to the grand final? Bottom plant coming through just in the nick of time as Nexa and Amanek find important kills. Flash goes up over the top of the oil train. kennyS hitting shots. It's only Sunny, 7 HP. And it looks likely that G2 will be heading to the grand final of the Champions Cup here in Malta. Sunny is the last player between them and that spot. He goes up on top of the brown train, but Amanek gets it done. G2 are heading to the grand final. What a performance from this team coming into it, having to fight back. They never give up on train. And finally, they get the reward.
We said it earlier on, and I'll say it again, they do not like making things easy for themselves, but G2, they finally managed to do it. They had to make it dramatic, 13-7 down, made the comeback to OT, and right here, 19-17, separated by such a small margin. This series was so exciting from start to finish.
Well, G2, they've had the recent successes making the final CF Summit. In the fashion that they lost it, though, they definitely wanted to pick up the trophy here in Malta to try and clear, the year, to make it feel really good moving into the next year, 2020. And G2 certainly are a team that have potential. They've been growing, they've been improving, and ENCE, they're a team that had got that recent success in the summer, started to look really solid. Made the change of Alexi B, and it's a growing process. They'll be playing in the 3rd place decider though, and not the place ENCE want to be, but at least it's some extra cash.
Yeah, I think it's $10,000 that you get for coming 3rd over 4th place, so it's definitely worth competing for. But what an amazing series! I mean, G2 really stuck it to them there in the end. 2 rounds in between them to finish it off. Every map was exciting and separated by such a small margin. You got to be so happy right now if you're G2, and I feel bad for Natu on the desk.
Well, something that was happening earlier on for G2 was some incredible shots from kennyS. We have a chance to hear from the man himself on the stage with Stunner.
Kenny, yes, that's who I do have here with me. You actually have quite a few G2 fans here. They've been sitting around. First and foremost, let's just address them right away. What do you want to say to the G2 fans that came out here today?
Well, thank you very much. Despite the fact that there is not much people here, you've been really loud, and we heard you throughout the World Series, so thank you very much for that, guys.
Yeah, there we go. Okay. So let's continue down the path a little bit here because, Kenny, when we looked at Mirage, there were a few people that were on a tear. Hunter was having a big game. But most importantly, you guys were down 7-2 at one point. You run it all the way back. How did you do it?
I think at one point on the 3 maps, we've been down a couple of times, pretty much every time. So we've shown a lot of resilience and managed to come back at the end. Every time even Dust 2, if we don't manage to close it out, we still manage to put some rounds, which has been quite encouraging for the next map, even though Dust has been frustrating at the end. Yeah, I think we played good. We've shown a lot of resilience. ENCE is one of the hardest team to play against, and I think, yeah, we had a good adaptation during the game and the series.
I mean, good for you, Kenny. And on top of that, you look at Dust 2. What happened there? Because it wasn't easy. It wasn't the greatest of showings within the first half. I think it was a 10-5 half. What happened?
Yeah, once again, it's a bad start on City side. We were down something like 6. I don't remember actually, but we are down. And then we started playing more aggressively. I started picking more entry kills and that kind of stuff. We managed to close it out with 5 rounds, which is okay at City side. Then we made a comeback on T side, but that was not enough. I think we might have hurried a bit too much sometimes. We knew that some rounds were working and we decided to change. Wonder why, but at the end of the day, Nexa did a lot of great calls. Hunter played insane, and all of us had really good resilience towards the series.
What would you say about how Alu played in the duration of this tournament?
Who?
Yeah, no, I get it.
I'm joking. No, I think it's one of the, as I said, ENCE is one of the hardest team to play against, and Alu is definitely one of the best players in the world. And let's be honest, it's a really pain in the ass to play against him, and it's really, really good.
Pretty fair assessment, I guess, of playing Alu. Look, man, you got Furia, you got Spirit. Who do you want to play in the grand finals?
I don't really mind, to be honest. I would like to play Furia because every time we play them, it's a really close series. And most of the time, I feel like we give that game away. I think if we play like we did against ENCE today, we'll manage to take it all.
Yeah, and that's what we're going to be looking forward to. But first, we got to get into that second semifinal, and not before heading back to the desk. Thank you, Kenny.
That's right. Thank you, Trace. Thank you, Kenny. Some words coming out from Kenny there. A bit of fun with old Alu as well. But Alu did give him a truly hard time throughout all the course of that series. Yeah. We were very worried about Kenny going into train. He did have that slow start coming into it, but there was a lot of factors that caused us to get to this crazy overtime scenario. And finally, you got to say, is Sonny, he did everything he possibly could to try and drag him over and make it happen.
As Counter-Strike fans, we had everything we wanted in that game, honestly. I know, and I understand that for Natu, the finish the other way around would have been better, ENCE winning overtime. I do respect that, but I mean, just watching the game was amazing. Hunter was there, obviously Sonny was here, very activated. We had comeback, we had clutches, we had aggression on the B side from G2. That was just a magnificent series.
I just have one word to say. Vito.
That is all we're going to get from Natu for this entire segment.
Pretty much.
He's done. He's done.
No, I mean...
It was so close as well.
Yeah, obviously 10-5 first half and then getting the lead, having the opportunity to close it out in the end, 15-14.
Yeah, against
the super scrappy buy. That just fell apart. Obviously... Players taking shortcuts when one's going through corners. The first one being the two guys just ran upper, not checking a very typical spot where Nexa got that 2K with the ZZ, and then Almanac in the corner of that T connector. I think Ariel coming through the through connector and not checking that corner, getting picked apart. Very like you can put those in the line, right? You keep on seeing them, but yeah, I mean that's obviously a very unfortunate way to lose a game. Or go down overtime when you had it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are moments that haunt you, right? That's the problem here with it all. But Hunter, again, we continue to talk about this man. He is an absolute beast when it comes to correct decision-making in the right position and just playing his role so well.
I mean, we have to talk about Hunter. We have to, right? When he joined G2, I felt that he wasn't delivering as much as I wanted him to. I know what he was doing in his previous teams, right? But now, he is really coming into his own. I looked at his rating past month, so that's a bunch of games they've had. He's like 1.3 rating in the past month.
It's insane as well, right? Because everyone was just constantly making the joke, oh, it's just Nico's cousin, like,
and
just the other Kovac. No, this is the Kovac I want to watch.
Like this
is the one I want to see.
This moment right here was like one of the, I mean, very pivotal round, obviously.
Yeah.
It's a 14-13 game at the time, but just the decision he made of crouching through that upper and not really giving X7 any clue unless he made the peak. He was low in HP as well. Very crucial kill. And basically gave the opportunity for them to win the round.
You see the way he moves around. To me, that's the complete package, right? He understands the game, he knows how to position himself, and when he goes for the duel, he goes for it. Like, there is no way. You could see sometimes player be a little bit undecisive on how to peek, jiggle peek. No, if he takes you, he's going for you, he's going to get the peek. And then once he has it, goes back, plays smart. This version of Hunter is super scary. And I agree with you. Out of the two Kovac, he's up there now. That's the one.
This is the one I'm looking for. This is the one that gets me excited when I'm watching Counter-Strike.
Yeah, very similar methodology. Is that the word?
Yeah.
Thought process.
He has
the same thought process basically as we had with the window boosting.
Yes.
It's with him going through all of to like between the 5 trains, the sandwich area, whatever you want to call it, between 6 trains, I mean, and time again keeps getting impact. At least damage, more often than not he gets a kill and creates chaos. I mean, it's mega confusing. He keeps on getting there.
And you talk about chaos, I think that was also one of the main fact for G2, mainly on the B side, on the defense. They switched it up so constantly. Sometimes Kenny was here being very aggressive, sometimes it was double rifle being aggressive, then with throw the smoke would play safe. I'd seen so many different players actually go B and have setups, and that was a problem for ENCE, because then they never knew they had to use so much utility just to take that small area of the map, and that gives you nothing, just an access to B.
Huge point.
Yeah, just another one to point out is that during the regulation, ENCE was really just giving Pop Doc a lot of the time, like pretty much all of the rounds. They were not playing aggressive over there, but then once we switched it over to overtime, they started playing aggressive and didn't work out.
Sometimes that's just the way it goes, but we have our first grand finalist in G2, and ENCE aren't done and out of it yet. They will go into the third place decider as well. But next we're moving on to Furia taking on Spirit, and this is going to be a crazy one, right? You can see current standings of where we're at. The Furia versus Spirit matchup is one we never expected. We never
not.
expected Spirit
No.
to be in this position, and they've
No.
now got no pressure on them and a lot to prove.
Yeah, I mean, it's refreshing to see Spirit up there, right?
Yeah.
Now, I will say, though, I don't think we can just take that game they had against Hard Legion and make it a case of
Very
that's what's
different
going to be.
teams,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. It was pretty much it was a domestic matchup. I think Hard Legion didn't really show up. Sure, Spirit, probably the highest skill ceiling I've ever seen from them in a best of three. But they are going against a different type of beast. Now, this is Furia. There's more experience. There's more talent. They've played many, many more events. For Spirit, these are the first steps. I don't think they've ever played for that much money on the line. And I don't think they've gone up against Furia in that type of setting. So I'm looking forward to see. I'm expecting a different Spirit than versus Hard Legion, but mostly because the opposition is going to be different.
Yeah, and that's the thing, right? When we're looking at this matchup, you see they do different very styles when it comes to Spirit. They did play quite aggressive against Hard Legion, but I don't think they're going to get away with that going up against a team like Furia. And that one is coming up in about 20 minutes time from now. So we've not got too long to go for it, but it's another best of three. And if we don't see Spirit like we saw yesterday, I can't see it going to 3 maps. I'm going to say that straight off the bat.
That's very true. And also, I mean, it's very tough to play Furia. The first time
Yes,
around
it
you
is.
ever play against them, I mean, you can tell, all the players say they're super annoying to play against just due to the aggression. Players like Art, just going through the smokes. If Hunter is an irritating player, so is Art.
Yeah,
and
yes, irritating, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like Furia is finally kind of starting to find a little bit of rhythm, right? It's not only that aggression and just a lot of fast plays, but also some that really take the time, and it's obviously very, very key for them to be successful against some of the better teams. And now Spirit probably not used to the style that they're going to be throwing at them. So that's my first concern.
No, I agree with you. I think that when Furia had that crazy run in summer, where I'm talking about Dallas and then ECS, everyone was agreeing that style would have its limit. You cannot only go, crazy all in every round. And they try adapt a little bit. They try to diverse their play style. They had a little bit of a dip then, they disappeared, but now they're on the way up again. And as you say, I think they have a more complete play style. They can run down the clock if they have to. They can play the intelligent rounds. It's not only just aggression. But if they can do it and get away with it, then that might just be a crazy game versus Spirit.
Well, let's find out in a few moments if they can get away with it. It's time for us to go to a break, ladies and gentlemen, once again. But when we come back, it'll be time for our last semi-final, the decider of who will be making it to the grand final to face on to G2. Stick with us and we'll see you in a few moments.